split them up. They made them split around the map.
Silence now as well onto the Timbersoft. They find this kill also. LGD strike back and find
Huge
3.
That was so well played by Maybe and Ame, cutting those waves and pushing those two different side lanes, forcing Liquid to react to it. That was incredibly smart by them.
And they cut the lead down to 4,000 net worth now.
They've got the gem as well, so that's a big advantage, big swing coming around for them.
Well, it was not the perfect timing for Liquid as far as getting everything together because of the great plays from LGD.
Yeah.
How does this next stretch look for them? Can LGD start to be aggressive around the map at all?
In a minute, they can be, because then it's going to be nighttime. Then they can start looking for these other moves around the map. They just got so much map control, getting those two top towers, thwarting Liquid during their best possible position, their earliest possible position to push for high ground.
Right.
So definitely a chance for LGD to come back in this one. Liquid they're going to just keep running at this, though, to try to end the game.
Well, the root's there. They get the Meteor Hammer. They found the Timbersaw. The rest of his team's not there. They find the root in the middle of it. They pull it back in. They're trying to take him down, but the Impale comes out from Kuro. Miracle running. He gets away.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. That's got to hurt.
Helps that he has, 57 armor on that Timbersaw right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. A hell of a lot of regen. 80 regen per second right now, not to mention the Coddle heal. In 8 seconds, it's gone, but
they're really pushing the limit of that daytime.
They really are.
And
4 seconds left.
They're going to get the racks, too.
Wow. And LGD stuck looking for answers. It's one lane of barracks down, and with no Underlord, maybe a bit too scary to walk in again. Maybe jumps forward and jumps back out. That's lane.
Whew. That was very scary for Miracle for a moment.
No Yules, his defensive item right now is Solar Crest, and maybe a couple of those misses don't go through.
That is the scary thing about Naga plus Underlord. It's like you get netted, then you get rooted, then you get rooted again, then you get rooted again over and over again.
They got a Meteor Hammer thrown in there now as well.
This is a good timing, though, for Maybe. He does have the BKB online, but Liquid, they're not holding up, even though it's nighttime.
Is this too far forward? FY
comes out.
Okay, they get for the smoke, though, as well, trying to create that little bit of separation. Timbersaw is still free. The only one that they've caught right now, and actually they didn't even catch him. That's going to be another connection. Able to walk away, maybe. Going for the Coddle, trying to bring him down on the other side of it. Miracle's making a lot happen, but they did end up finding the stun onto the Storm. They still get GH, and now looking for more. Ame turn on a Kuro. They get a double kill on Maybe, draining away the mana of the rest of these heroes.
They're just trying to kite Miracle.
Alone. Okay, and he's able to create that separation for the rest of his team.
So they were able to isolate the Keeper of the Light during that, most importantly. That's what Maybe needs to do in every single one of these engagements during his BKB, is kill that Coddle.
Well, Bloodstone charges right now for the Storm Spirit. You've got 12 on Timbersaw, but he is up to 15. Is this one of those games where a Storm can kind of take over if he gets to enough farm?
Yeah, Storm and PL can definitely take over this game.
Well, another Dark Rift in. They bring absolutely everybody. They wanted to go after that bear, but again, with the Aghanim Scepter done for the Lone Druid a couple of minutes ago, this is a really difficult find, and just being able to track that bear down.
Yeah. Liquid's going to just try to keep the other two side lanes pushed out, wait for that daytime to kick again, and then go. LGD needs to take advantage of this here. Wait for that sleep or that Bane Fiend's Grip to come back online and try to keep that pressure going. Get some good aggressive wards down as well, since they do have the gem on their side.
Picking up the Blink as well for the PL as the next pick.
Pierce the back lines with the Storm Spirit so we can simultaneously jump.
Okay. Yeah, I guess just popping Manta as well. Going for the Heart next. Is the Heart the item that really transforms it into a point where he's taking over the game, or is it? Okay. We'll watch for that. Arcane Rune on Miracle.
GH has picked up a Ghost Scepter now, so he is a lot harder to kill, and he's queued up an Aeon Disc next, which will make it even more difficult if he can get those items. But now, gets jumped on.
There's the Ghost Scepter, like you were talking about. Still a lot of damage going through. The Song is there as well. Maybe wants to stack up a couple of these stuns. They've also got the Lion separated from the rest of the herd here. The Meteor Hammer onto 2. That's a nice one. GH is going to go down. Kuro doesn't cast a spell. They've caught themselves the Beastmaster as well. Off on the other side, he goes down. 3 dead from Liquid Chalice. They found Miracle. They've isolated him as well. They've got the silence and they kill him down. The bear doing work up there top is, Miracle turns now on to Maybe. They need to get the heck out of dodge. The problem is they're losing those other barracks. At least the tower.
Yeah.
Tumba Man TPing away. LGD, they're making moves, and
they found
isolating
Miracle. He is completely alone, so it's Him versus the world.
All right, Miracle. He's caught. He's rooted. They've got themselves everything in the kitchen sink. And the Timber Saw is going to fall. 4 dead. LGD, they're making it happen.
Yep. That was great usage. We were saying, you know, it's nighttime. They have to make moves happen. They have to try to split Liquid up. Matu did a nice, clever move there with that Aghanim's Bear. Went top, claimed the tower. Didn't really see how much damage he got on the racks. A little bit, not a crazy amount, but yeah, both teams trying to take advantage of any little movements.
I mean, that really is the scary part, though, is thinking about Lone Druid, Aghanim Scepter, and how many times have we seen them come back from unwinnable games because of that?
Yeah, I've seen, like, the biggest one, of course, comes to mind was Secret at that DreamHack Major.
Exactly.
Getting those Raxes with Ace over and over again. So we're going to have to see build into that BKB so he can go for that split push if it's safer. But LGD they're getting to the point where they're being very strong in those fights. And Liquid, it is daytime. Let's see what they can claim off of it.
The next timing window is opened. 20 to 24, only 6,000 net worth. And, well, Liquid, do they want to go for a pickoff now? Like, it feels like they... Are they still comfortable in their position in this game, or are you really starting to sweat now?
They're starting to sweat.
Okay.
They are definitely starting to sweat.
Oh, the wraparound, though. The rest of LGD is right there next to them, and maybe in a great position to jump from the other side. Chalice is there. They jump forward onto one. Has he jumped into a big situation, though? Roar. They get the roar. They caught themselves. Maybe the song comes out, but it's not enough. Gem is on the ground, and now FY is like, all right, I'm getting out of here. And Chase, Kuro, almost gets him. 4-staff forward, looking for more. Not quick enough.
Meanwhile, bottom, Ame is trying to keep that split push going. And Liquid just going to run toward that top racks. The glyph is not available, I believe, for LGD's side.
Oh, that happened so quickly. Storm Spirit's going to be back up in 10 seconds, though, as Mind Control opens up. They have the root. They've got a second root.
Meteor Hammer.
Next as well. Slowing them down. Matumba Man is here as well, though, and well, looks like they're not comfortable pushing up with Storm Spirit back up. Now, another net.
Miracle.
The chase. Now he's thinking about it. Goes off to the south as well. They've got a lot of damage on a Miracle. The Spirit Vessel is on him as well. He's not regenning as much as you would want on that hero. LGD charging forward. Matumba Man gripped. He's completely alone right now. They're going to be able to bring down this bear. Maybe Kuro's able to turn it back around, but Matumba Man is there. They get the finish. GH blinding light. A lot of heal onto these supports, but it is just supports right now. And oh, that's going to end up being Kuroki going down.
The bear's going for the racks bottom in the meantime.
Oh, God. Over and over again. It's happening. Bottom racks as they start to take it.
Oh,
the melee is gone. Oh, no. And now they lift up the bear. So the bear is going to end up being punished by this, but he's taking out the range barracks
gonna get
as well. They take down almost the range barracks. I mean, it's range. It's not regenning.
Yeah. He went for the Mask of Madness build on the Lone Druid there. So now you can see that's when Liquid's like, we don't want to take these head-on fights. We need to bait them to go for one position while the bear split push is completely on that other side.
Such a frustrating way to have to play against it for LGD, I'm sure. So what is the answer to that as far as like the way that they organize their team fights and such?
I mean, they have mobile cores. That's the thing. They have PL and Storm Spirit, which can jump from lane to lane pretty quickly. And now PL has a heart. This game is going to be won through split push by Liquid. And for LGD, it can be won just through head-on, just brute force engagements. Because they definitely have the ways to clear that Timber Saw out now with all the different tools that they have. Like you said, the Spirit Vessel coming out, negating all that heal, and then the Bloodthorn on the Storm Spirit that he picked up a bit ago. These two items are going to be very important for them just to burst down that Timber.
Naga Siren next is going to be going for the Aghanim Scepter. Obviously, great amount of heals coming out from that as well.
Yep.
And level 17. I was almost wondering if we were going to end up seeing that transition later on, but it does look like down bottom again. Ame is going to keep that pushed out with the PL. Roshan, is this number 2 now?
This is number 2.
Yeah. Is that really going to be a key point of contention for this, or does Roche matter less now?
Roche matters a lot, for sure. I mean, a Storm Spirit with an Aegis, even if he gets roared, then that's Liquid's main catch for him is gone. So if LGD gets that Aegis, it can be absolutely enormous for them. Jump in, gets a DD rune on Somnus. Ame this whole time just keeping that split push bottom, and it is nighttime now, so Liquid a little bit afraid to try to take an engagement.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's scary. Those last couple of engagements happened while they had daytime.
Yep. And they still couldn't withstand LGD's pressure.
Down bottom, there's some action happening as Timbersaw is out of mana, it looks like. But shouldn't be anything to write home about as the PL just TP'd back towards his team. And now they're going into Roshan.
Uh-oh. Liquid's got to scout this out. They're sending the Hawk over, so they do know it's happening now.
It's so quick, though, as well.
It is dying very fast with that Firestorm and PL illusions.
Now, they get the Dispel off, the walk-in, Miracle. It's going to be Nightmare. They find the Roar, though. They found one. That's a pretty big one to get. If they can get the Naga Siren, the sleep does not come out. Nothing comes out. Now maybe going ham, though. He's caught himself mind control.
He got rooted.
He's going to get caught. They pull him away, and that's going to end up being more damage. Finger of Death finds the finish. They buy back on 3 heroes.
3 buybacks.
LGD want to take this fight. If they can make it happen, they need that Roshan. And, well, the sleep comes out now, trying to stall the fight for the moment. Who are they going to go on? They pull back in GH. They got him cornered. They got him caught. Are they going to get him killed? Another Blinding Light is there, though. The Ghost Scepter as well. Meteor Hammer is down. They find that kill. Mind Control trying to run away. Ame is keyed in on him, and they do manage to bring down that
Miracle
Beastmaster.
Too. There's no buybacks on Liquid.
What?
GH
oh my God!
buyback.
All right, with the bear though, the bear, they're doing it. Matumba Man is there. They use the glyph. Can the rest of them get back?
There's no TPs, right?
They
all
don't
just
have
TP.
TPs. They all TP back because of the buyback.
It's only the Underlord, but the Rax, the melee Rax is claimed.
Oh, they lift up the Yule Scepters there. They need to go in for Roshan. They need to do something because there's only 100 HP on that bottom one, and the bear is going to run there. They have the Nightmare though, and well, the catch, the force
it away.
It's on absolutely nothing. The fear, he just wants to get the kill. They get it. Oh, the bear, he Midases. In defiance of LGD trying to stop this one. He has almost no mana left, or rather HP, and they do finally bring down the bear.
LGD trying to do this Rosh at the same time.
Roshan falling, but well,
the bear, you see the bear, it's sneaking. Look at bottom lane. It's going for the Rax.
Oh no, it's got the Invis rune. He took off the Radiance as well. Walks forward, oh, and Mega Creeps are taken.
All right, LGD, you got to battle for Smegas. And now Liquid's all respawning, and they're going to be able to actually contest this Rosh at the same time. Oh my God.
So Lone Druid Aghanim Scepter.
Yep, this looks, we've seen this before, Gabe.
You know, Ice Frog said he was going to be doing balance patches every 2 weeks or so.
Oh, but these are so exciting.
I know, it's great. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. All right, so a lot of minus armor here, maybe jumping in, spots out what's going on, jumps in for a second time, wants to take it. He does end up snatching the Aegis, maybe makes it happen, and also gets out. Had to use the BKB charge, though, and Mind Control trying to run away. Miracle is forced in as well. He's trying to make whatever damage happen possible, but the song is there. And now the turnaround. Are they really going to take this fight? Meteor Hammer only onto 2. They've got PL caught there by the Roar. The Impale as well is there from Kuro. They kill them both off. Maybe he's coming back, but they got the buyback. GH is absolutely alive on nothing there, and he does fall as the bear is starting to eat away into that hero as Naga is going to go down as well. Maybe turns on to Kuro, another Yule Scepter. Lift up a couple hits there. Doesn't connect. Matumba Man's down. He does have buyback, but the others don't, and a nice blink out by Kuro to save his life. As... well, Miracle isolated right now, and he does not have buyback. 800 gold away from it. Gonna doppelganger up to the high ground. They get eyes on him. They pull him back in, and Miracle gonna be pulled back down. 4 dead.
That Aegis snatch kept them in the game right there.
What a great play. And it's still against Megas, and they've got Bane to defend, and that's it. This is really tough.
Xnova's like, I need to pull these into the fountain, or we're in trouble.
Does Lone Druid Bear have boots of travel? That's one other big question we got to keep our eyes on. Maybe finds the bear. It was trying to sneak, but it's going down. They get the bear. They do have resummon, though, as well. Oh, God, with those lack of buybacks, you would love to be able to get something more for LGD.
Kuro's getting chased out here. Gets the Hex and the TP.
All right, Fog, so break it down. Where are we at? Is it as bad for LGD as it looks, or are they still making things happen here?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty grim to deal with this, because now Liquid, they are all respawning. We didn't see like buybacks come out from Liquid either. They held everything except for GH's buyback during all of these engagements.
Yeah.
So now they just need to farm up their buybacks, keep the pressure going, and they'll just have map control based off those Megas.
And Coddle taking that extra mana. To be thrown out there. They're gonna try and resecure.
I didn't know the other Coddle talent was 40% magic resist.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
I've never seen anyone take it, but that's a lot of magic resist.
Yeah, it's one of those things where maybe slowly and slowly it's going to be buffed up to the point where you got to take it, but so much mana.
Like 100% magic. So they smoke. They've got Roar available. They're trying to get a pick off. If they kill this PL, the game can end very abruptly.
Yeah. Buybacks not there for anybody from the Dire, and PL the one that's been holding pressure as Ame. He runs into a lot of them. Needs to be careful. They're up there on the high ground. They jump in. It's onto the back line. They have been able to find themselves mind control with the Roar to turn it. They get the sleep, trying to keep himself alive, but maybe is dead.
Dead for 65.
No buyback at all, and this is going to be a really tough one for them to hold it all. The sleep comes out, but the BKB is there as well for mind control. He's trying to run down FY. GH gets healed back up again as well, and Ame, all the illusions taken away. He is going to drop. That is going to be GG as LGD, they almost were able to make it happen, but in the end, Liquid split push was too much.
That was a hype game, though. They actually they almost came back in this one, but just a little bit too much from Liquid, just making the right calls, making the right moves, taking those fights around. But both teams, they did make some really clever moves. That cutting of the wave by maybe almost winning them the game, almost giving them enough time to come back in this. But Liquid, with that brute force, taking those early 2 Raxes, and Matamba making those like little cute moves with his bear. Damn, I hope, man, let's get 3 games. 3 games of this, man. This was good.
And the thing about it, too, that was so cool is that draft, you've got that early timing that we were talking about, where it felt like that was going to be so strong, but then it was really like they had the late game opportunity as well, which is just a really cool draft design to see there as well. Anything for either team that you'd like to see changed for game number 2? Did you feel like there were any picks that were really like out of left field or were running into issues?
No, not really. I thought it was pretty clever. I thought the one thing was maybe LGD wanting a bit more of that fight, because you saw like they really couldn't do anything till like the later stages when Storm and PL got online. So maybe some like earlier kind of things to match up. If they're going to pick Naga, have something that can actually synergize with it maybe.
Right.
But I thought it was a fun game to watch. I thought that was pretty sweet.
No, absolutely. And, you know, thinking forward to game number 2 as well, we've got ourselves the Underlord there that ended up coming out last. I'm just really excited to see what ends up happening. But I believe that we're going to go to a quick break before we throw it back to the panel and see what happens for game number 2. 1, 2, 3, drop.
Sleeping alone, and I've been eating alone, hiding under the stairs, even though no one's home. And if you're living in the daylight,
welcome back to StarLadder I-League Invitational Season 4. Team Liquid taking the first game against LGD. You're in the upper bracket. We're seeing which team is moving forward to the last day of play, to the playoff Sunday, and which team still has to go through the lower bracket on elimination Saturday. And it's going to be either LGD or Liquid. Liquid one game up now, and in such fashion. Oh, that bear. There's going to be some hatred towards that bear now from LGD here with Capitalist and Louis Cap.
Can I have a debate with you guys? Because I was thinking about this in my head.
Sure.
Which is the worst feeling? Dying to Techie's Minds and having no buyback and losing the game because of it.
Okay.
Or losing Raxes to a split-pushing Aghanim's Lone Druid Bear.
I think the most frustrating part would be the Lone Druid Bear.
Can I add one in there?
Yeah.
Defending Mega Creeps as Bane. Right?
Yeah,
I feel for X-Nova in that game. His teammates was all killing
him. Enfeeble a creep. Like,
he was just like having the creeps as a Congo train. Like they're going after him. It's like, oh god, get them off me.
But it was so frustrating to watch though. I mean, LGD, they did so well, and they were winning the fights, you know, they were clutch fights, but then every time they were slightly winning a fight, it's like, wait a second, there's a bear in your racks right now, and you're up against Megas, and it just goes that fast. I mean, sure, you can win fights, but if you're not going to be able to kill the bear.
And this really encapsulates a lot of Liquid's idea for this game in the first place, right? Is that they have this Beastmaster, they have a Keeper of the Light, they have a Timbersaw, and they have a Lone Druid. All four of those heroes can push out and pressure waves, right? Like, if you're going to go and gank the Beastmaster, which we've been talking about, right, is that LGD and Newbie, they both have this playstyle that they're going to relatively 5-man around. This game, obviously not as much because we had certain like larger scaling heroes that needed to be able to have a lot of farm.
Yeah.
But you could still see it in their playstyle where they go and they gank Miracle's Timbersaw because he's sitting underneath a tier 2 and they have to bring like 3 or 4 heroes because that's just how good the hero is, right?
Yeah.
It's how tanky it is. You have to bring those extra heroes, which leaves Beastmaster the space to be able to push out top and vice versa. Right? And if you move as a Storm Spirit, you're going to give up your tower to the Lone Druid Bear. So it really did seem like Liquid adopted this playstyle when once they were able to get this opening with the Keeper of the Light, they were like, we're just going to pressure your lanes nonstop.
Yeah, it got to a point where it's actually very reminiscent of the infamous game where it was actually LGD that's ahead of kills, but then it was LGD that lost pretty much all the towers. And then once I think Team Liquid secured the outer towers and the first Roshan, it just kind of felt like the slow death.
Yeah.
Like they weren't 5-manning your tower very quickly or anything, but you take a fight here, Bear takes 1 Rax, take another fight, Bear takes another Rax. So it was very methodical, and it showed me that this is Kuro drafting, Kuro out drafting LGD. Very much so.
Yeah, before the game started, I asked you guys a question on what you think the team should do. In your case, Lumi, you said Roshan is going to be key here. And we saw it being key. Other than the bear, we saw it being key. At some point, there was a Rosh fight. He had 3 buybacks from LGD, and they were able to win that fight off the back of that, discounting the bear, because he was obviously still split pushing. And it did come down to Rosh those fights. It's just, if it wasn't for that bear, this game would have been so different. And I think LGD would have taken it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because basically Kuro drafted a lineup where they would lose the fights, but win other aspects. So LGD won the fights, but they're supposed to. So it's, you know, pros and cons, I guess.
Yeah.
It really does remind us like how disgusting Keeper of the Light is when you're able to grab this hero and then you're able to pick certain heroes around it, right? Just these tankier heroes, like Storm Spirit could do nothing at 20 minutes when there's heroes hitting his tier 3 because there's Arcata with Ags healing up a Timbersaw who's tanking the tower.
Yep.
You know, it was just like this constant sustain and tankiness that made it impossible for LGD to really do a whole lot and convincingly take fights against Liquid and go and take objectives. Even if they could win a fight, they were always low enough that they couldn't actually take an objective.
Yeah.
And mid tower, did that mid tier 1 ever die? Maybe it died towards the
I think it died to
end.
PL, like after 45 minutes.
Yeah. It was like something really late where the mid tower finally ended up going down, and that's just a mid tier 1, you know. So it's a problem giving coddle to this team.
So this game, you feel like was this a pure drafting issue? Like, was there a way for LGD? Because they did really well, you know. I thought maybe was doing good under the Storm. They didn't really lose the lanes too hard. You know, they won a couple of Roche fights there, and then was there any way for them to be successful with this draft, or was it always going to be Liquid to take this?
So I feel like the mid matchup, the Bear versus Storm, Storm was going to just lose that matchup.
Yeah.
Bane can't come in to help because Bear doesn't care. Bear just sends the Bear onto Bane.
Yeah.
And then bottom lane, PL versus Timber, there's no way they were going to kill Timber there either. So I thought the only way that they could slow down Team Liquid was kill Beastmaster and Kato top. And the cool thing was they actually TP PLN, like he was level 4. He was able to get a kill. And then they needed to keep doing that over and over again. But after that kill, they kind of just stopped and slowed down. And then just played it statically, which I think Liquid was like, all right, we lost Beastmaster once. We'll just keep playing our game plan. And then the next thing we saw was Timbersaw on the tier 2s. Bear taking tier 1 mid, and then he was getting his Radiance. Like the Team Liquid strategy was never stopped. So.
I think part of the problem with there is one thing about Storm Spirit and picking this hero is that it can only go mid, right? Like other mid heroes, you can run safe lane, or you can do some sort of dual off lane something with the weird change up of lanes that's happening right now. But Storm pretty much is like guaranteed mid, and so when you know that, you're able to pick up these like 2 very strong laners against PL. He had no options, right? Like he goes against Timbersaw first, and like, oh, that sucks. But then it's like, what's the other option? Going against a Coddle and a Beastmaster who's going to be spamming Wild Axes. It's just like, it sucks both ways. So the drafting really cornered LGD when it came to the laning phase. If they have a stronger laning phase, then the Storm and the PL, if they are independently more farmed, then they can also independently threaten some of these heroes a little bit better, rather than having to rotate the whole team across to be able to kill a Timbersaw once or twice.
Yeah, we still had, I think LGD had 1 pick to prepare for the Lone Druid, and they went for the Underlord, and you know, it can work out. You can play this super fast game where every time the bear split pushes, you're going to relocate there, and you're going to basically push that wave out. They didn't really get that speed up, I think, that an Underlord in that case needs. Lone Druid, though, was this just a Lone Druid problem? Are we going to see him banned game 2? Is that something that you're going to do if you're LGD? It's like, well, we don't know how to deal with that one anymore.
It depends if LGD is prepared against this type of strategy. I feel like if they have a couple of heroes, like, for example, Pitlord was a great final pick, because Pitlord was one of those heroes that could sit in the lane by himself and match what Timbersaw is doing. If you had 2 other cores that did the same thing, then the whole Team Liquid strategy of pressuring every lane just doesn't work as well, right? So in that case, I think they don't mind giving away Lone Druid.
Yeah, I think like I certainly wouldn't ban Lone Druid in the first 3.
No.
Maybe the Coddle. Maybe you consider it for 3-4.
I think if you see Kato Beastmaster, you'd ban Lone Druid.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
And they banned out the Brood, the Chen, and the Night Stalker LGD for the first 3. Do you feel like Night Stalker is still needed for that space?
Night Stalker is like, part of the problem is like when you ban Night Stalker, it makes Coddle stronger, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to leave that hero out, then if you're going to leave Coddle out, then maybe leave Night Stalker out.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, you could consider Monkey King. I think that's one of LGD's stronger heroes. You could jump on tree lines, find the Kato.
They play Monkey King for Ame, right? Ame plays it for
well, they play at 1 and 2, depending, and they swap lanes as well. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe we haven't seen a Monkey King at all today. Not banned nor picked, so.
Battle Fairy hero, good in the meta, go on trees, find that Kato.
Was this game one as even as we thought it was going to be? Like, looking at the matchup?
Play-wise, yes. Strategically, no. I thought LGD played well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were expecting them to play well.
Yeah.
I think I would agree with that, because there was one moment where it was the first gank on the Timbersaw. Bottom lane, he was at tier 2, and they rotate like 4 heroes to deal with him.
Yeah.
Like, boom, they catch Miracle, awesome. And then they 4-manned up to top lane really quickly and caught the Beastmaster. And Miracle had revived by then, and he thought that he had enough time to be able to push that tier 2. Like, he was like, oh, they're top lane now. Let me just pressure this tier 2 again, like the plan is. But then he dies again. And, like, it's at that point, it's that second death where you have made an error, or rather, LGD has played really well against you, where they're playing so fast that they're actually catching you in these shenanigans. They did play correctly, but I think ultimately this is a playstyle that Liquid is probably the most adept at in the world. And it's not surprising to me that Liquid did look to outclass LGD when it just came to this drafting and how to work.
All right, so we're going to focus on the second game here. Do they need to change their strategy? Because if you're saying that if you're playing this strategy, Liquid's going to win regardless, is that really something that you want to, don't you want to just switch it up so that you force Liquid to play something that they're not comfortable with? And I know that is very difficult to do, you guys. It's very difficult to put Team Liquid on an uncomfortable draft, so to speak.
Cuddle is such a big problem because it also prevents you from being able to play a fast style that takes objectives quickly. That was never an option for LGD when it comes to drafting, right? They had to scale. naturally because you can't just like, oh, they're gonna play this pressure side lane game. Well, let's just pick up like a DK and go high ground against them. You can't do that because Coddle's like the most superior high ground defender of all the supports. So.
And you're not going to first phase ban a Coddle or a Beastmaster. Those heroes are not really worth it as a ban. So they're kind of in a pickle in terms of the pick ban phase. So I think last game they straight up Chen Enchantress ban, right? Like they're now considering going for another ban instead.
Enchantress wasn't banned at all.
Oh, okay.
It's just ignored previous game.
Well, you definitely banned Tiny, right? Because you can't afford to give up first pick Tiny to Liquid, especially because they could just second pick Wisp.
By the way, is somebody smoking in this venue?
I mean, they can. I mean,
you gonna call him out, Lumi?
That's just legal.
Is it legal? There's not.
Go flame
There's
him.
no way it's legal.
You can smoke in the hotel. I've seen the little smoky ashtrays.
They just ignore the signs.
Yes.
That's all. Just
But why
just
isn't
ignore
there,
the sign,
an ashtray in the hallway?
There's literally a no smoking sign on that wall, Shiver.
Ah.
Or does that say exit?
Oh,
I mean,
I
same
think
thing.
you
I
are
think
right.
it's
I think
just
there is 1 or 2 floors that you can smoke.
Like
in a
smoking
hotel.
rooms and floors.
Yeah.
But not everywhere, right? Like
Yeah.
that is the one thing I remember disliking about China.
Just the one thing.
Just the one. Nothing
Yeah, Shiva, are you implying there's
No,
more
no,
things
no, no,
to
no. I'm
dislike?
like if there's one thing that you dislike about China, it's the smoking thing.
Yeah. People just like smoke.
Huh.
Everywhere.
I hated that about Germany as well. When I was living there, there's just like so many smokers.
One thing about humanity.
Goddamn humans
Wow.
smoking up the place.
All right. Back to the draft. We got Naga ban coming out. We got the Lone Druid by LGD banned out. Still a bit of a respect ban in the end. It just forces you into the style of play that you do not want to deal with. It's just you want to focus on your own game. In previous game, sure they could do the team fights, but they couldn't actually execute the plan that they had in mind. And the Razor gets removed now as well.
Have you talked to Kyle recently? Is he still on the Razor hate train? Because I know he hates the hero.
Dwindles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, I
It
think
is
you have
so
to be
good of a
open to the
hero.
hero. Yeah.
Has he come around?
Very strong.
We can ask him tomorrow. Or Saturday.
Yo, the Meteor Hammer is so good.
Yeah, the Meteor Hammer was good.
Naga Siren?
Yeah.
I can't believe I would rather like leave Lone Druid out there than give Liquid Tiny.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's just scary. And as you said, the IO is still in the pool as well because didn't ban that out. So there's a chance that they're going up against IO Tiny of Liquid, which is...
For me, the problem is Lone Druid doesn't give you, like, the threat and power of Lone Druid is a little bit more one-dimensional, whereas Tiny Wisp can split push you just as well, almost as well as a Lone Druid, and it can simultaneously be such a good team fight. It's such a unique combo pair.
So how do you
in that
prepare
regard.
for it?
How do you deal with it?
Yeah,
Usually,
yeah.
like, AoE control is pretty good. A Naga Siren, obviously, if it was still in the pool, would have been
Yeah.
excellent. Disruptor.
I've seen one in Galaxy Battle, casting Team Spirit, they just pick DK Phobos Venomancer every time. You get a Gale on that guy, or you're using Plague Works to scout him out.
Yeah.
Poison Nova, very good, just kind of whittle him down. DK Phobos just play the shit out of against Tiny every time I see him versus Tiny, so.
Okay. Who knows? Not really LGD's
Yeah,
type of hero, but
haven't seen Chalice do the off-lane Venomancer.
no. I mean, this looks like it's going to be a Chalice Omni Knight, right? And there's
Yes,
IO.
yes.
You know what my favorite part of that game was? Was that FY picked up the Meteor Hammer, and you saw the very first time he picked it up, he whiffed the shit out of it. It was just like, he totally airballed it. But then every single time afterwards, he got the timing perfectly. And I
Well-
think that's just so cool to watch like somebody pick up the timing very easily like that.
Yeah.
Like you or I would be fumbling for it like 4 more times before we finally got it down, you know?
There was another very key mistake with Song where I think Storm Pop is like 10 or 9 second BKB. And then there was a song in the
yeah.
middle of that, and I think the LGD coach was saying, "What the hell's going on now? Storm can't do anything."
By the way, Chalice is undefeated on Omni Knight. In the
There's a
last 3
first
months.
for
Yeah,
there's a first for everything.
I was about, how many games is that? Like
3.
3? Yeah, I was gonna guess 3. It's like, it's definitely less than 5.
He's undefeated on the
Well,
Tiny.
I'm not
as
sure
well.
if Charles has ever played Omni Knight in his life before he joined LGD. I was hyped for Chalice because I was looking through his heroes and I was just like, oh, this guy's like me, man. He's like clockwork bat, right? He's aggressive. Then I see his LGD games. And
yeah,
I'm like,
I was
oh,
gonna
never
say,
mind.
I only looked at his LGD games and I'm like,
Omni,
you know, Tanky,
Underlord.
Tidehunter, Brewmaster, Faceless Void.
I mean, the thing is, like, I think they picked him up for that reason, right? He plays the heroes that don't need farm, like Clockwork, and and it fits with Ame and maybe, but now they picked him on farming hero regardless. I don't know.
So Ame in this role, right? We have an Omni Knight, we have an SF. Presumably, Ame is going to have a bit more of an aggressive style hero, like the Gyrocopter carry that we saw from the first game. I don't think it's bad versus Tiny Wisp either, but that's for later in the picks. In the meanwhile, I still think Disruptor's quite strong here.
Lycan is still in the pool as well. I mean, if you're looking at LGD, they will go for the Disruptor. Nice call.
And then maybe other Titans banned, maybe Earth Spirit or...
Are you saying this for Team Liquid right now?
No, for LGD, I was thinking like the other.
Because this is
other
the X-Nova
support.
hero, right? Disruptor.
I actually like Naga over all of that. Because, I mean, we've seen the...
Oh, Naga's banned, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would have been down for first pick
Yeah.
Naga against the Tiny.
Kuroki Rubik. The original.
They didn't
Before
ban it. They have
before
Omni
FY
Knight. They
Rubik?
didn't ban it.
It's true. Before FY Rubik, there was Kuroki Rubik.
That's true.
Before Kuroki Rubik.
There was no other Rubik. It was just Kuro.
I mean, there were other Rubiks,
But not as
at
good as
that level.
Kuro.
Yeah. For
I'm
whatever
getting
reason,
frowns here. Are you frowning? No? Okay.
for whatever
That's
reason,
right. Look away.
They just
look at us.
They just both turned their heads, our commentators, as I said that, and it's like, yeah, no, and we getting the
stare down.
thumbs up, so good. Sand King now for LGD.
Sanking into the Rubik. How has this meta evolved?
Damn.
how
I don't know
are we,
about that pick.
Kuro's loving life. He's like, oh, sick. Burrow Strike, Omni heals.
How are we seeing this in terms of lanes?
What's that?
Is this an FY Sand King?
Yes.
I think so, yeah. That would be really weird if they were like Ame Sand King.
No, maybe Chalice, Sand King, and an Omni Knight support, you know?
Omni Knight needs farm, a ton of farm. So I think FY's position 4 Sand King used to be one of his best heroes. I've seen him do some crazy
Okay.
stuff. He was able to dodge an X Torrent combination in the middle of an X. He got X back, but Burrow Strike out of the Torrent. Like, it was
Mind-blowing.
mind-blowing stuff. Like, this guy knows his timing. But into Rubik, I don't know, dude.
It is a nice like AoE team fighter in that regard. Any of those AoE control / damage is always going to be pretty good versus Tiny Wisp. It's just unfortunate that Rubik is getting so much value here as a third pick.
Let's see what Liquid goes for.
They could pick up like